Episode of SPNation Season 2. My name is Ira Pablo and I'm going to be your host for today's episode. And I'm so excited to welcome you guys because we're going to have another episode filled with exciting topics, basketball discussion, latest happenings in the world of basketball, and I'm sure you guys all love that. Pero syempre, hindi ako nag-iisa for today's episode. We have here two special guests. We have here basketball analyst Martin Antonio, and of course, we have former PBA player El Banal. Ayan. So we're going to hear from them in just a few moments as we discuss our topics for tonight's episode. So if you guys are ready to dive into the world of live sports like never before, then register now at Sports Plus PH. So whether you guys are a diehard fan or you just simply love the thrill of the game, of course, we've got you guys covered. So register now at Sports Plus PH. Okay.
Parang behave na behave tayo. Biglang naging professional tayo dalawa.
Dapat pala hindi ka na ni-intro.
Bigla kami naging professional din. Uy, parang dumating sa
kanina nagchichismisan lang kami. Tapos bigla, farmer.
Ganun, parang...
Sorry. Bayin natin yung intro natin. Okay, ano na ba usapan natin sa basketball? Okay, I'm going to introduce our topics for this episode. Ayan, sino ang maghahari sa UAAP? So we just finished game 2 ng UAAP. One apiece na ang UP at Lasal. Tignan natin kung sino sa tingin nitong dalawang to mananalo, maghahari sa UAAP. Next destination for Jimmy Buckets. Ayan, magandang topic also. And of course, we're going to talk about our NBA Cup semis picks. And of course, hindi mawawala yung ating SPN expert picks. Ayan, let's get started. Sino sa tingin nyo ang maghahari sa UAAP? So now we're tied at one apiece, Lasal, UP, and syempre hindi papayag si KQ, our ating back-to-back MVP na they're just parang hindi nila ipapamigay sa UP just that easy. So he scored 11 points during the fourth quarter in Game 2, including the two back-breaking three-pointers in order to salvage that game to finish 76-75. So pag-usapan natin what happened in Game 2 and then pag-usapan natin what's gonna happen in Game 3, who's gonna take it home. What do you expect for this coming Sunday?
Mauna ako free throw shooting. Yun yung magdidictate ito. Kasi both teams are shooting very well from the free throws, but UP missed an opportunity to take care of business and secure that championship, second championship in 4 years for them. Two free throws, one turnover, breaks of the game in the end game. LaSalle had the better basketball player in that game, Kevin Kiambao. For this game, QMB was the best player on the floor. So we'll see how Game 3 will pan out dahil execution. Hindi na to X and O's eh. Everything could be X and O's, but in Game 3 and in elimination games, it's definitely about the Jims and the Joes. So kung sino na lang talaga may gusto niyan.
Palakasan ng loob.
Oo.
It was a great game. The whole game, UP was in the lead. They were under control. However, JD Kagulangan took over in the third quarter and really gave that cushion for the Maroons. And I thought, I remember I was watching with my friends, lahat sila Lasal. So ako, unbiased naman ako. I just wanted to watch a good game. Parang inaasar ko lang sila na the UP, tatapusin na ng UP to. And that's what it seemed like. And then pagdating ng fourth quarter, parang may mga 8-point lead yata ang UP. I was like, teka, parang gusto ko lumaban yung Lasal. And there was a time na parang KQ was unaggressive. And I was thinking, okay, this is your time to take charge. And rightfully so, he did. And so, to be honest, there was a lot of miscues. UP could have had it. They could have really solidified the game. It was theirs for the taking. They dropped the ball. I felt like a lot of times they could have gone to JD Kagulangan instead of Lebron Lopez down the stretch. And KQ just took that opportunity and won that game for them. Despite missing the two free throws, like sinabi ni Coach Hammer, free throws were were key. But also very underrated was the defense of LaSalle with JD Cagulangan in the end. They really made, kasi ako pag less than 5 minutes to go.
Gusto mo hawak na niya.
My time na yan. And so, hindi madali niya nahawakan. And it really showed because the ball didn't end up in Cagulangan's hands. Napunta kay Lebron Lopez, napunta kay Abadiano, and that's all you can ask for the LaSalle defense. And so, KQ won it for them. The LaSalle's defense was there, but also at the same time, it was UP who dropped the ball. So, very, very interesting game 3.
Yeah. So, it's also easy to say na parang, UP na to. Parang they're gonna get game 3. But again, you'll never know what LaSalle will do for game 3. You said you were expecting KQ to peak at a certain point, and he did. So what if it's gonna happen again for game 3? He put up 22 points nung game 2. What if he puts up, it's not impossible to say na mag-20 din siya.
Hindi malayo. Pero, I mean, this is strength on strength na eh. Pagdating sa mga ganyan, last game of the season, game number 3, you want your best players handling the ball. May Cagulangan for UP, Kevin Kimbao for LaSalle. At the end of the day, who executes more, who plays physical more, kasi kadalasan doon nagkakatalo yung physicality, and the referees will definitely let these guys play, and who can play within their emotions and within their structure. Kasi lahat na nung nila eh. Lahat na ng game plan nakalabas na dyan. Wala ka nang pwedeng itago. Your imprint has been all over the place. Meron ka ng mga blueprints na iniwan. Lahat ng pinanalo mo throughout the regular season, alam na ng kalaban mo. So how will you execute? Pagdating nga sa ganito, laging sinasabi ni Coach Jude Roque, pag mga ganito ng laban, players game din. Yung mga player na yung magpapanalo. It's either mapapanalo nyo yung laro o you would die trying. Yan na yung hihingin eh. Pero pagka lalambot-lambot ka, lilembot-lembot ka dyan, parang mag-choke ka. The pressure gets to you. Yun lang yung magdidictate dyan. But again, these two teams are really sanay na pagdating sa mga ganyang games.
So who's your pick if you are going to choose one team for game 3?
Well, keys for the game for me is UP needs to figure out a way to give Maymay the ball down the stretch. They weren't able to do that. I felt like they went the other route. They were going single, one-on-one with Lebron Lopez. I'd rather have Maymay have the ball. He had the big third quarter. So if they do that, because they were in control both games in control sila. Hindi lang sila naka-finish. And so if they polish that, they will come out strong. On the other hand, LaSalle naman, parang at certain points during the game, parang sobrang stagnant. Kung wala si KQ, walang nangyayari. Parang ganun yung nangyayari. So everyone needs to step up. Besides, they can't keep on counting on KQ to bail them out kasi what if hindi mangyari sa game 3, di ba? And so it's really a player's game, a game 3. Would you say, Coach Hammer?
Yun talaga ako. Mahirap pumik, pero few points naman. Ako, kailangan maglaro yung mga larong topics sa bata ni Coach Topex. Abadam, Makalalad, Golyena, Austria. Pag itong mga to gumana, pagka hinugot si Marasigan yung 3 minuto, 4 na minuto, na larong Olongga po. Alam to ni Kuya Willie, alam ko Kuya Willie nanonood ka. Ngayon kahit may practice ka. Yung larong Olongga po nangat-ngatan, kasi ganun maglaro yung UP. Hindi papatalo, physical, mamaan. Doon nadali yung Ateneo eh, di ba? Doon nadali nila Maymay yung Ateneo nung una nilang championship. Ganun din yung ginawa nila nung mga succeeding championship runs nila. Hindi man natatawid, pero hindi kinakapos lang sa dulo. So, eto, importante ang 4 yan eh, lalo-lalo na si Makalalag. Dahil in the first game, he looked like he was shook. Di ba? Nung first game. Second game, passable. And they needed a monster game from KQ. And what if monster game KQ, monster game JD, monster game QMB, monster game Motor Mike? All else equal, sino na yung mga mag-step up? Kasi merong Abadiano, merong Alarcon, there are a lot of guys for UP. Sa LaSalle, meron din. Kasi wala eh, palaliman na ng talent eh. Hanggang yung mga team B nila, ang lalalim, pwede maglaro sa final. So, antabayanan natin.
Okay, so if you were going to pick,
ako magpipik ako. Ako napipik yan, Mapua yan, tsaka ako sa Bella. Yan ang ipipik namin.
Ako pick ko NUFE.
Galing.
Pero, but if you were to pick, ako, I think UP for game 3.
I would pick LaSalle. I think this was... hinayaan ng UP eh.
Oo.
Pwede na nilang
Momentum
talagang
swinger, no?
Actually, it might mess with their
So,
mindset.
honestly, knowing Coach Topex, I think in games like these, he would be able to figure. If you give him enough time, he would be able to figure out what to do, and that's what UP did. They dropped the ball. It was theirs. It was theirs. They lost in the final quarter. So I would pick Lasal, and only because I think pag natalo ang Lasal, baka hindi na bumalik si KQ. And kung manalo Lasal, meron pwedeng okay, may chance for a 3-peat
Oh,
from
3-peat.
4-peat.
Di ba ba siya sure?
3-peat tapos 1.8, gawin natin 2M.
Ayan.
Gawin natin 2M para mag-stay. Okay.
KQ, Gcash na lang, KQ.
Ako, caveat dito, defensive coordinators, Coach Eric Gonzalez, and offensive coordinator ng kabila, Coach Kaloy Garcia. Dahil when the offense of Lasal was humming, UP was having a hard time, especially in the regular season. But when the defense of UP was dictating the action, nahirapan ang Lasal. Yun yung nangyari ng Game 1. So ako, I would go, since UP alumni ako, I would pick San Beda, but it's always, I will pick UP for that game.
Exciting. So Game 3 is going to happen this December 15 at the Smart Araneta Coliseum. Abangan natin.
Yan.
Very exciting
Full pack
yan.
Full pack.
Tingin ko mga 17,000 last
17,000
time.
yung game.
Nung Beda Mapua game last year, 22,000.
Grabe.
Eto tingin ko, mga to 23, 24 din to. Punong. Siksik, liglig at umaapaw. Yan ang makikita natin. And all the streaming platforms will be filled to the gills. And everybody would be tuned in for that game. Saktong-sakto.
Sakto.
Kinabukasan simbang gabi.
Oo nga pala.
Sakto. Okay, so we'll find out what's gonna happen with Game 3 UAAP. Finally, we're going to crown another champion for UAAP Season 87. Okay, punta naman tayo sa usapang NBA. Ito, usapang trade naman. Usapang championship, punta tayo sa usapang trade. The next possible destination for Jimmy Buckets, Jimmy Butler. He already said na gusto niyang pumunta sa Dallas, Houston, Golden State. So, let's talk about the trade rumors, what's going on, what you guys think about it, and which team do you think he best fits in? Dahil syempre, he's already 35 years old playing in the NBA for 14 years already at ang tataas ng averages niya. 19 points, 5.4 rebounds, 4.8 assists, and career best na 55.7%. So this guy is due for a championship, and alin dito sa tatlong to, Dallas, Houston, Golden State, will fit best for Jimmy Butler.
Logical choice, Dallas. Ako, logical choice. He is an off-ball player. He is a defensive player. He runs in transition. He finishes. He can be a rim finisher. He doesn't need to dribble as much. And he played with Kyrie in Team USA. That's number one. And number two, there's no tax. There's no state tax in Dallas. So you might as well go to Dallas or Houston if you want to make as much money. And there's a fine print on that trade. If he would go to a team, he will exercise his opt-out clause in his contract. So, pwede siyang umalis, pero pag nanalo, syempre, he might stay. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. ganun lang naman yung pwede mangyari dyan. Pero if I was putting myself in his shoes, best chance for me to win a championship is if I would go to Boston. But his game doesn't fit with the way Boston is running things. He's definitely an improved outside shooter, but he is more of a defensive player. It's something that Dallas lacks in their rotation. A perimeter defender that can blanket the deficiencies of Luka Doncic defensively na kaya niyang pumick up ng point of attack ng koponan ng kalaban.
Ako, if I'm agreeing with Coach Hammer, no, if you want to win right now, like Jimmy Buckets right now, we mentioned 3 teams, pero if we're just talking about those 3 teams, there are 2 out of the 3 teams that has a really high chance of winning if you want right now. And again, that's number 1, Dallas Mavericks. And number 2, pwede sa amin yan. Pwede sa amin yan. Pwede sa amin yan. Golden State Warriors, he would be a sort of like an Andre Iguodala type in the glory golden years. That could play. That's a really high IQ playmaker off the ball, play defense. Golden State will have to lose a bunch, but that's fine because we need to savor how many years Draymond and Steph has, and maximize on that. For For the Rockets, I think it's not a win right now. Yes, they're doing pretty well. They have a high chance of really being successful in the next 3 to 5 years. But kung lilipat ka na lang, di ba, pupunta ka sa parang similar team ng Miami na talagang parang in the middle of building that momentum.
Loaded yung Houston.
Yes, loaded. But I think Dallas, if Dallas gets them, it's really a greedy move. Not negative, a positive greedy move. They are really trying to build the best team that they can.
Yeah.
They're gonna give up a lot, but that's fine because ang kapalit mo, I'm sure they're gonna keep Clay, Kyrie, and Luka and the bigs, or one of the bigs probably, and in exchange for Jimmy Butler. And so, me personally, my bias take would be Golden State would be a perfect fit.
Wiggins ba ang binitawan nila dyan?
Pwedeng JK, pwedeng...
Pero mabigat yung nilalaro ni Kumenga ngayon.
Yes,
Yun yung titignan nilang trading piece. And for if I'm Miami, thinking of trading him to Dallas, it's Najee Marshall and Derek Lively. So those two guys should be part of the package. If you want to get Jimmy Butler, you got to break the Daniel Gafford, Derek Lively tandem, and I need to get Najee Marshall. Najee Marshall can be a passable replacement for what Caleb Martin, Jimmy Butler brings, and it opens up a combination of Najee Marshall and Jaime Jaquez as a starter. So.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they throw in their Spencer Dinwiddie for a pick somewhere there. Because again, and even if that happens, the Mavs would be loaded to the brim, and I think it's gonna be good for them. And they're gonna be instantly the #1 team to beat in the West.
Alright, so those are your top 2 teams, tama ba? We have Dallas and we also have Golden State for you. Not yet for the Houston Rockets kasi parang medyo bata pa yung team.
Bata pa yung
Maganda yung pasok siya.
Pero malakas sila.
Pero ako iti-trade ko si Jalen Green para dyan kay Butler kung ako yung Miami kasi Jalen Green, syempre Pinoy roots, Eric Spoelstra, may connection na agad, marketing for Miami, and then there will be opportunities for him to grow as a person dahil magkakaroon ng structure, heat culture, diba? So if that was a possible trade, I'll send the first round draft picks for Jalen Green and Jimmy Butler papunta sa Houston and get Steven Adams para hindi na mag-center si Bam Adebayo. Steven Adams, please, go.
Grabe ang hirap pag merong mga trade rumors, no? Because you're thinking about the season you're in right now because you're still playing for Miami.
Yeah.
But then you're also thinking about which team will suit you best, lalo na at the age of 35. Playing 14 years in the NBA, parang your time is ticking already. So, how do you decide like where to go? Kasi parang lahat parang pwede. Pwede pero hindi mo ma-predict kung saan. And there's so many factors behind it. Aside from basketball, syempre yung family, yung kids, like where they live.
And Jimmy Butler already, like what more can you ask? He like 2 finals appearances already. And so wala na eh. Parang that team, like, it's reached its potential. They need to make a change. Well, from my perspective, Jimmy Butler wants that change more than Miami.
May wild card pa akong team na gusto ibato dito.
Ayan.
Kasi equal yung sweldo ni Jimmy Butler, malapit sa sweldo ni Michael Porter Jr.
Ooh.
So if you throw him into a team like Denver that needs a defensive stopper, and then you have a finishing 5 of Jamal Murray, Jokic, itong si Jimmy Butler, and Aaron Gordon, and then you can plug Russell Westbrook there para defensive dogs yung mga nakapalibot. Can look good, but might be something dahil nasa luxury tax, lagpas na sa luxury tax ito Denver, so they have to move a lot of people to make that possible. But he would fit in well because he's an off-ball player. Once you have off-ball players around Jokic, as what nakikita natin up and down kasi si Porter Jr. Kaya pinanonood ko kasi yung game. Again, we'll see.
We'll see talaga. It's gonna be exciting though kung saan siya lilipat. Or he can also decide to stay.
Yeah, stay. Finish
for
the
sure,
contract.
for sure, it's not gonna, might not pan out. Okay, so let's go to our NBA Cup semis picks. So we already have 4 teams in. We have the OKC, the Houston Rockets. We also have Milwaukee.
And Atlanta.
And Atlanta as well. Ayan. So, what do you think will happen with the semifinals in the NBA Cup?
I want to see Houston and Atlanta here. To be honest, because they need it. Houston needs the reps. OKC might dominate it. It would be a dominant fashion for OKC if they enter this NBA Cup championship. Pero I really like Houston to go in there and play against Atlanta. Kasi Atlanta really needs the marketing, the reps, because they're an up and down team din the past few years after that transcendent run that they had during the bubble. Ngayon parang up and down, pare-parehas yung mga pwesto ng players, kinakapapa nila yung rotation. Milwaukee is an old team. We call a spade a spade. They're an old team with a very good talent base, but they're old. Chris Middleton is a shell of himself, no? Since he won that since they had that championship.
Two steps slower.
Pero pag titignan mo lang kung talent for talent, liyamado rito yung OKC na to go all the way itong NBA Emirates Cup. But I want Houston and Atlanta here.
Okay, how about you?
Like I said last week when we were having a conversation with Coach Hammer and Dino about the NBA Cup, I think the teams that usually excel in this stage of the season are the teams that need this the most. Okay. However, I would like to add to that also what this year is showing me are the teams who are also successful are the teams who have little to no pressure. And Atlanta and Houston are playing like they don't care about anything in the world. They're having fun, they're hooping, they're fighting, they're dogging their way out. Wala silang pressure eh. No one's expecting much from them. And so itong NBA Cup na lumalabas yun. And so that's why they've been really, really successful and they're playing at a very, very high level. I love how these teams are playing right now. You're seeing the best of them. However, the question is, teams like OKC, are they still better than a very, very good day for Houston? I think they are. I think OKC will still come out on top. On the East, Milwaukee and Atlanta, to be honest, out of all these four teams, Milwaukee needs this NBA Cup the most. They're trying to figure out a way to will it to really be successful right now. As Coach Hammer is saying, yung age is catching up to them, pressure on Dame to get the ring, Giannis to repeat. And so they really, really need this. And so I would still pick OKC and Milwaukee to come out, but I will still pick OKC to win it all. They're just that good right now. Malakas sila, they're complete, they're playing poised and composed, and to be honest, I don't even think it matters to them that much. They're just trying to win as much games as possible. Yeah.
Alright, so we'll see what's gonna pan out for our NBA Cup semifinals. The games are going to start happening, I believe, December 15. Ayan. So at 5:30 a.m. and at 9:30 a.m. our NBA Cup.
Tulog ka lang. Tulog ka lang ng konti.
Gising ka ng 5:30.
Nanood ka ng PBA, tapos UAAP naman. Grabe. Whole day of
What
basketball.
a basketball day for December 15. Sakto Sunday.
Oo.
So talaga nasa bahay lang talaga, manonood lang talaga tayo ng basketball na araw na yan. Okay, let's move on to our SPN expert picks. So we're going to have 3 games and we're going to try and choose which teams are going to win it for, when is this game? This is going to happen
I think tomorrow.
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Okay, so tomorrow it's gonna start at 9 o'clock. It's going to be the LA Lakers versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. So the Lakers is coming from a win against
Portland.
And then Minnesota is coming from a loss against Golden State. Pero halos pantay sila ng standings. They both have 11 losses. 13-12 wins naman for LA and Minnesota.
As redemption story goes, na-redeem kami ni Dino, si Coach Hammer yung host noon, pero kami ni Dino last week.
3-0, no?
From 2 weeks ago,
3-0.
0-3 yung picks namin ni Dino. Last week, naka 3-0 kami. So I'm feeling pretty good right now. We'll see tomorrow. But for this game, LA and Minnesota, I would pick Minnesota. Just because Anthony Edwards is showing a different kind of dog right now. He really wants it. He wants the smoke. And in a matchup game like going against Anthony Davis and LeBron James, I think Anthony Edwards is just really gonna excel tomorrow. Again, Lakers are battling through injuries, and they're it's just another game for them. But Minnesota is really out to prove themselves. They're fourth in defense, and they're really dotting their I's and crossing their T's in terms of how they want to polish their identity coming into the season. So I pick Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yeah, I second the motion. I also picked Minnesota. Again, because the Lakers has been facing injuries since Gary Vitti retired. Ganun na katagal yun. Kasi hindi talaga makukondisyon yung mga player pag yung conditioning coach din ng mga Kardashian. That's one thing that I need to say to everyone who's watching. Pag yung ginagawa ng artista, tas player kayo, may problema dun. Kaya parati kayo masasaktan.
Okay. Mag-artista na lang.
Oh.
Can I just share? Kardashian. As a
May na-trigger.
Kardashian.
May na-trigger.
As a
May na-trigger.
Kardashian fan, you know, nagpa-blood test yung mga Kardashians and they showed it in an episode. And then, yung muscle nila and yung build nila is already athletic level.
Yes, yes.
Mga Kardashians.
Oh.
Yeah, the Kardashians. Khloe, specifically, alam ko she's the strongest. Tapos si Kim yung sumunod. So
Like
dahil...
all the mixed DNAs. Okay, back to the ball game. Back to the ball game tayo.
Hindi ako papayag na hindi ako magsasalita when the Kardashians are being talked
kasi
about.
what's his name? Si Gunner, I forgot the name of the guy. He's a celebrity trainer and he has been training some of the guys. Not named LeBron James because LeBron James has his own training team. Get in touch with Tim Grover for all the Laker guys. He's the best of everyone. But again, injuries has been the number one detriment for the campaign itong LA Lakers this year. Anthony Davis, as we've known throughout his career, I don't know who's more injury prone, is it him or Zion Williamson? But again, yun yung nagiging detriment sa kanila. But the younger guys are doing well for the Lakers. But Minnesota, they're just waiting to break through. Dahil ang laking bagay nung Randle na malaki yung minuto. Ako, paulit-ulit kong sinasabi to, na yung laro kasi ni Randle, it's like Ant-Man. Diba? Parehas sila ng laro, pero si Ant-Man kasi mas athletic. So si Randle, he is a shot chucker ever since he was in Kentucky. But he has his bursts of games. And hopefully after losing to Golden State, which he had a good game by the way, makakabawi sila against the Lakers. So I'm picking Minnesota too.
Still, I would rather have Nas Reed and Julius Randle in the fourth quarter
finishing
than,
five.
not naman no hate on Gobert, pero
Exposing.
ano na lang siya eh. Like 4 and 5 for me, kailangan pa nila talaga i-explore Randle and Nas Reed. Randle can play inside out, Nas Reed can spot up from outside, so it's still gonna be better for their spacing.
Nagiging 5 out sila si Randle
yes.
So they give up a lot of rim protection.
Right.
Dahil Nas Reed and Randle can go and blast switches on that blitz, the pick and roll, or they can soft show and then i-jump switch na i-green na lang nila. But at the end of the day, yung rim protection, kaya ang daming layups mag-endgame pag wala si Rudy Gobert. So we'll see.
And again, stay tuned. May bagong segment kami next week.
About the Kardashians.
Keeping up with the Kardashians at Sports Plus SPNation, hosted by Ira Pablo.
Yeah.
We'd love to talk about
May
how
spin-off na tayo.
yung
The conditioning,
speed, agility, and itetest natin yan sa mga Kardashians kung
I-edit natin yung mga clips nila kung gaano sila kalakas
Papaalala ko lang
mag-workout, ano yung diet
yung
nila.
tatay nila abogado.
Ayan.
Stepdad nila yung decathlon champion. Stepdad nila yun.
I will also include the Jenners na rin.
Of course.
Diba, the Kardashians and the
Yes.
Jenners, Kylie and Kendall.
Maganda yan. Maganda natin pag-usapan.
Okay, back to the ball game.
Okay,
Gusto ko
also,
sa sports, nagiging showbiz eh. Sabi ko sa iyo eh. Ganda pa naman yung entrada ni Aya na kanina. Talagang control tayo papunta sa weekend eh. Sabay tignan. Okay, back to the Kardashians tayo.
syempre pag nandito ako, may kasamang konting showbiz. Para updated lahat ng mga sports fans natin, mga ins and outs, o diba? Ayan. Also happening at 9 o'clock is the Brooklyn Nets going up against the Memphis Grizzlies.
No,
Who's your
Brooklyn.
pick?
Something is a team that you're very familiar with.
Yeah.
With Chris Humphries and the Brooklyn Nets.
And Ben Simmons also. Ben Simmons
Blake Griffin.
Hindi maganda yung era ni Kim Kardashian when she was dating. That's the 72-day marriage.
Yeah. Speaking of hindi maganda yung tinatakbo, Brooklyn has been abysmal this year. They're still trying to find their groove. almost a third of the season has passed. They've been losing back-to-back games for the longest time. And then their offense would win, and then it would dip every so often. And Memphis is looking good. Pakagat lang pala yung retire na dunking ni Ja Morant.
And so you're picking Memphis, diba?
Of course.
I agree with you. At least for me, if not for everybody else, Ja Morant is reminding me that he was in the same category of Booker and Luka and SGA in the rising star category. Yes, he was sidelined by many issues outside the court, but he's reminding everybody right now that he was expected to be a D-Rose minus the injuries caliber MVP type of player, and that dog in him, he's going at everyone, and that's what Memphis is, and I like how they're playing, and I think they're gonna come out on top. It's a no-brainer. They're gonna come out on top against the Knicks.
Pero alam mo, ngayon, whenever I watch Memphis, nagdadasal talaga ako. Kasi every time I see Ja Morant and he pulls out all of these things that he does mid-air and the way that he cuts and explodes, nininirvyos ako bilang conditioning. Coach pa ako! Parang, grabe, sobrang gifted niya, but he is so light.
Yes.
His frame is so skinny na pagka umi-explode siya, lalo na yung mga nagpipinoy step o kaya nag-euro step na bilang mabagal, mabilis, may mag-change of pace. Parang ako, kinakabahan ako eh. Hindi na eh. At saka the way that he takes contact.
Yes.
Pag bumabagsak siya, talagang parang si Devontae Smith sa Philadelphia. Pagka nababangga ng mga tao, parang, Lord, protect her. Kasi he is really an exciting guy to watch. And Ja Morant has been doing a lot of incredible highlights. And if the highlights equate to wins, which they had 2 years prior or a year prior before this injury-saddled season in 2022-2023. So hopefully, they can continue this trajectory. And Jaren Jackson also healthy now, so we'll see. Lagi na so we'll see kasi 1/3 pa lang ng season.
Baka yung conditioning coach na hindi, conditioning coach na artista.
Tatay na yung conditioning coach niya si Timo Morant. Pinatatalon sa mga gulong bata pa lang di ba? Finisher yan sa inside the NBA. Pero pwede naman magpa-condition ng mga artista. Wala akong problema dyan eh. May mga artista pang mas kondisyon kaysa sa mga ibang player ng college. Pero mas malaki yung allowance sa mga player ng college.
To be honest, if nasa 90s to, sa gaano kagaang ni Ja Morant, isang siko lang yun sa mga 90s player. Lipad na yun eh.
Iba yung laro dati. But now, I mean, Ja is Ja and Ja will Ja.
Yeah, Ja will Ja.
Okay, the next game at 10 o'clock, the LA Clippers will go up against the Denver Nuggets. The Clippers coming from a loss against Houston's 117-106, while the Denver Nuggets coming from a win against Atlanta 141-111.
I pick the Nuggets over. Can I just say, in case you didn't know, over the last 5 games, Nikola Jokic has averaged 39.4, close to 40 points per game, close to 15 rebounds, and close to 9 assists per game. He is single-handedly carrying this Denver Nuggets team despite the unusual performance of the rest of the crew. This is not how they won the championship. However, I think Nikola Jokic has been on a tear this December, and I think it will continue to be that way for at least until they make a really good trade by February, by All-Star. And All-Stars, pwede din talaga siya. Siguro package in a shooter with Jimmy Butler, maybe Caleb Martin. Hindi ko alam kung mapupull off nila yun. Kahit what's his name? Si white boy na hindi naman siya.
Tyler Hero?
No, the other white boy.
Si Duncan Robinson.
Yeah, kahit siya pwede na sa Nuggets eh. And I think the Nuggets are gonna come out on top because of one man and one man alone.
Yeah,
Nikola Jokic.
Ako rin yun yung pick ko. Kasi LA Clippers has been up and down, facing injuries in the past few games. A little aches and pains from their younger players who are forced to play a lot of minutes right now. And of course, Russell Westbrook hopefully does Russell Westbrook thinks, I'm a believer, that he would be an asset here. Maraming di naniniwala, pero kailangan kasi kay Westbrook, rebound tsaka dumunk na lang. Parang Bruce Brown dati, kasi si Bruce Brown kasi nakakashoot ng tres eh. Ngayon, pinapatira lang niya si Brody.
Oh, man. Balik rin dapat na dapat pick and roll, pero si Westbrook ang si screens, Jokic ang gagamit.
Ang hirap doon. Ginagawa na makuha yun. So, konting off tangent lang. Kay Jubilia, yung pick and roll. Na si Clint Escamis o kaya si Sai Cuenco yung nagsiscreen. Hindi ngayon alam ng mga guards kung suswitchan nila si Jubilia. Kasi pag dumawin nila si Jubilia, pakarantoro, nakababa yung
Bro, great point. And that's because guards don't know how to defend the pick and roll from a screener's perspective,
and
bro.
big guys doesn't know how to body up or tail on the ball. Baka si Kyle, alam mo. Baka mas
Si Kyle naman multiple positions si Kyle.
3-4 kasi yan 3-4. Baka kay Kyle, mag-comment ka.
Taga hard screen lang, taga Siko lang yan.
Tapos, kasi yung mukhang wala ka, hindi mo rin.
Hindi, favorite reaction niya ganito.
Wala!
Ang bait ni Kyle.
Tapos ituturo niya dun sa screen, tapos kitang-kita. Okay, back to the ball game tayo. So we're picking the Denver Nuggets to win over the Clippers.
That's right. So for tomorrow's game, we have the Timberwolves, Grizzlies, and the Nuggets. So yung mga SPNation expert picks natin. So of course, we are live on Facebook and on TikTok. And syempre, we've been reading the comments that you guys left for us for this episode. So basahin natin siya and let's react to them. Ayan, Lasallian, may kakampi ka na. Lasallian, iba yung may winning tradition. Yung UP, nakabili na sila ng isa. Di na mauulit. Lugi sila kay Lopez, all hype lang. Ang laki ng ginastos nila doon.
Grabe naman yung
Alam
binili na.
gone are the days na hindi na-involve ang pera when it comes to college basketball. So, iba na yung generation ngayon. So, you can really expect comments like that. Nakala mo pang professional.
Titawagin na natin kasi huwag na tayo magplastikan. Ang tatandaan na natin.
Yung mga allowance nga nila mas matataas pa sa sweldo sa MPB.
Malaki talaga yung mga allowances. But it's not the fault of the kids. Yan naman yan You can, like ito paulit-ulit ko sinasabi, you can't get what you deserve, only what you can negotiate for. If people are buying into the hype, if you're dancing on TikTok, posting on Instagram, and getting on with brands, and they pay you for it, so be it. Diba? Ganun yun Hindi naman tayo komunista dito. Kapitalista tayo. You make as much as you can. And if it makes you sleep well at night, if you take care of a lot of people, well and good. Pero yung sinabi, Lasallian, iba yung may winning tradition, tama, pero meron ding winning tradition ng UP na ina-establish nila the past few years. At parehas na silang bumili ng mga player. Huwag na tayo maglokohan. Parehas silang malaki yung panggastos. Talagang, yung mga nakapila pa lang sa Lasal, nakapila pa lang sa UP, Materiales Fuertes Kumbaga, hindi Ford Assembly Line nung 1912 Ito yung best of the best talents papasok sa dalawang team.
Also, people are forgetting that universities are also a business themselves.
Negosyo yan.
Pag nag-champion tong mga to, the rate of enrollees that will enter the school, anong course ganito, anong course yung idol mo, papasok sila dyan, mag-enroll sila dyan.
Ina-explain ko ng Monday, it's the positive sustainability chain of school programs through sports. Okay, napin niya yung thesis ko, nandun sa saglit. Positive sustainability chain. Because if you're winning, again, enrollment would go up, alumni support would be there, corporate sponsorships would want to be involved, and athletes would always want to be part of winning programs. So, pupuntahan talaga. Pag may pondo pa, kasalanan ba nilang binibigyan sila ng X amount, di ba? Kung magaling ka, meron ka din nun.
That's right. Okay, let's go to our next comment. Ayan, UP ako dito. Ayan, mas gutom ang UP, nagkataong minalas lang sa free throw based sa stats nyo. Buti may ganyan kayo. Sobrang informative sa viewers. Naalala ko yung segment sa USNCAA before, difference ng free throw sa foul throw.
ano bang foul throw? Foul ba sa baseball ba yung pinag-uusapan natin?
Pinagalo yung foul tsaka yung free throw.
Yung foul. Yung free throw, it's the field goal na free sa may foul throw yung pinalo tas hindi nag-field na punta sa foul ball.
To be honest, UP really had it. I cannot stress this enough. They really had it. And even if gumanda yung laro ni KQ, pero kung sinustain ni UP yung laro nila, mananalo pa rin UP But they dropped the ball. And it's up to them if magba-bounce back sila if ayusin nila din yung fourth quarter nila for game 3. I think so far in both games UP has been in control. However, binigyan nila ng open door yung Lasal, tapos na dapat. And nakakaba if nakahanap ng a whole new strategy ang Lasal in that one game. And if you have KQ on your side, anything can happen. So, you know, it's gonna be a really, really exciting game. Hindi lang free throws played a huge part, but also execution down the stretch.
Yeah.
And so, we'll see. Game 3 is all about, you know, who wants it more. So, we'll see.
Oh, buti na. Yung pala mga stats namin. Thank you, Prod Guy. Tsaka sa
Oo.
Prod team natin.
Sino ba yung mga
Game
Prod guy
Game
natin?
Prod Guy. Love you.
Alright, let's go to the next comment. Jimmy should go to Dallas. Mag-complement yung laro niya with Luka and Kyrie. Matinding big three yan.
Pwede. Yun yung in-explain natin, Power Mac, na maganda, mag-fit sila kasi si Jimmy Butler can play without the ball on his hands, and that it was shown when he was with the Bulls, for the most part when he was with Minnesota, and when he was with the Sixers. And then, if hindi lang nagpa-perform yung mga kasama niya, things will blow up. Kasi go hard maglaro si Jimmy Buckets eh. Pero pagka umangat-ngat, parang feeling ko kindred spirits sila ni Kyrie. Kasi si Kyrie ganun din eh. Maraming pahiyang si Kyrie Irving. But when he plays, he goes hard. Yun talaga yung laro niya. So, might be part of that culture. And meron pa ring stake of ownership si Mark Cuban. So, meron pa ring sway yan eh, business sway.
Again, like I said a while ago, like if Jimmy goes to Dallas, this will be the trade of the year. But at the same time, it will instantly put Dallas as the team to beat in the entire NBA, above Boston, in championship or bust for me.
It would be a conversation na starter.
Right.
And it would be an overlying storyline ng second half of the season if it happens.
Pero pwede pa rin sa amin yan. Umaasa ka sa Golden State. Kailangan namin ng isa pa.
Pwede yan. Pwede mangyari yan.
Alright. Meron pa ba tayong comments?
Marami daw tayong comment.
Ayan. I don't think the Mavericks are willing to give up their bench for a Jimmy Butler type of player. For the Rockets, possible chemistry issue ang mangyari. Up-and-coming team pa naman sila. Hopefully, they will make the playoffs.
So, kanino mapupunta?
Oh, Golden State. Yun talaga. Pero yun nga eh, yung magiging question dyan is Najee Marshall and Derek Lively would be the most tantalizing pieces that the Miami Heat will be gunning for when it comes to Jimmy Buckets to the Dallas Mavericks trade. Kasi yun yung unang-una nilang titignan na makuha. Or they might get Najee Marshall and Daniel Gafford, pwedeng ganon. Pero kung ako kasi yung Dallas, yun kasi yung panglaban ko sa Denver eh. Meron akong dalawang big guy, meron akong Gafford, meron akong Lively, na alam natin na weakness ni Jokic is going up against taller and more athletic players. So at least meron akong pangtapat sa kanila. Or pag yung Minnesota tumawid, meron pa rin ako mga big guys na pang rim protect.
That's right. So we can only spectate and we can only hope.
Rockets, possible chemistry issue. Wala na kasi mga veterano ngayon eh, no? Dati ang mga teams may mga vets to keep people in line, and Jimmy Butler is part of the old school of NBA players that you need to be in line, you need to do what you have to do, you need to take care of business before anything else.
Right.
But again, it's a TikTok culture, so...
Dylan Brooks na lang siguro yung pinaka...
isa pa yun eh. Hindi ako believer ni Dylan Brooks.
The villain.
Ayun, we still have comments. Ayan, our last comment. Kung gusto niya ng championship ring, punta siya sa Warrior. Kung gusto niya ng pera, Dallas or Rockets.
Ako, doon ako sa kapitalista ako. Doon ako lagi pupunta sa pera. Pero tama, kasi magandang championship window ngayon ng last leg si Steph Curry. Na maganda yung nilalaro nila, and might need another alpha on the team dahil Draymond is getting up there in age.
Yes.
Yun yung magiging question. And if they get another veteran in the room, it would help the young ones a lot.
I think he wants a championship already.
To be fair, he can win a championship also with the Mavs. But at this point, he also stated that it's not about the money anymore. Sabi niya, he has more than enough. He really wants what he doesn't have, which is a ring. And so, Warriors, pwede sa amin siya. But also sa Dallas, mananalo din siya.
At saka kung gusto niyo manalo, tayo North Carolina. Coach Bill Belichick. That's why I'm wearing my Carolina kicks today. I am so happy. Off tangent na, I'm so happy that Bill Belichick is back in football and for UNC. I'm so happy. 5 years, $50 million contract. Hindi natin gano'n na-cover ang NFL, papasok ng playoffs, pero Bill Belichick in the NCAA. I am so happy. I can retire my New England Patriots. Kahit sa Ohio State ako nag-aaral lang post-grad, bibili ako ng North Carolina gear ngayon. Pero makapag-Jordan na ako ulit at makapagsuot ako ng blue.
5 years.
I am so hyped.
5 years is a lot of time to turn things around.
At 72 years old.
Yeah.
Off tangent lang.
Ayun. So, ang dami natin pag-usapan for today's episode. We discussed who is gonna take home Game 3 of the UAAP finals. It's Game 3 this coming Sunday. For me and Martin, it's UP. For AL, it's going to be LaSalle. But again, it's all going to boil down to which set of players, group of players want it more.
Saka mananalo dyan, yung fans.
Yes,
Yung
that's
fans.
right.
Para sa fans.
It's definitely going to be a game to watch. Also going to boil down with mindset, palakasan ng loob. Who's not gonna break down, who's not gonna be rattled, malalaman natin yan this coming Sunday. We also talked about the possible trade destinations for Jimmy Butler. We have Dallas, Houston, Golden State. Hindi ko alam i-summarize. Di natin alam.
Pag-usapan na lang natin yung trainer ni Kim Kardashian.
Oo, kasi yun ang pasok natin. Maalala ko yung pangalan, may tatag ko si Ira. Follow nyo na lang ako sa Instagram ko, Coach Hammer 613. Mamaya ipopost ko, maalala ko yun.
Going back to the topic. Mahilig sila sa Kardashians. Ako, gusto ko basketball lang.
Yeah.
Ang dami nang pwedeng puntahan na teams nitong si Jimmy Butler. But again, he wants a championship already. So, good teams for him would be Dallas, Golden State. Okay? Baba na lang natin doon sa dalawang teams. So, abangan natin what's gonna happen with the second half of the NBA. And it's going to be such a big deal kung lumipat man siya to either Dallas or to Golden State. It's really gonna change what's gonna happen for the NBA for that half. And then for our NBA semis picks, we have Houston and Atlanta. They're both doing well. Pero did we come to a point parang OKC is going
I pick
He picked
OKC.
OKC ako, kahit sino. Pero actually, I want Atlanta to get this. It helps their brand.
And we also gave a little mga tingin natin.
Picks.
Picks, yes. Little picks and little expert opinions on which team's going to take home the win for tomorrow's games. We have the Timberwolves, the Grizzlies, and of course, the Denver Nuggets for tomorrow. So those are gonna happen. 2 games at 9 a.m. and 1 game at 10 in the morning. Ayan. So those are the topics that we discussed for today's episode. Guys, don't forget to give us a follow on our socials. That's Facebook and TikTok at Sports Plus PH. So if you guys are ready to elevate your sports experience, then let's dive into the world of live sports like never before with Sports Plus PH. So whether you guys are a die-hard fan or you just simply love the thrill of the game, register now at Sports Plus PH because we've got you guys covered. So thank you so much for joining us in tonight's episode. I hope you guys have a great evening. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.
There's a bunch of different things that just like put it all together. Everything has like a different meaning.